Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Hey everyone, you know the feeling, right? The morning after, maybe it's a couple of drinks, nothing crazy, but you wake up, you just get hit with this wave of blah. You feel tired, maybe a little anxious for no reason, definitely not as sharp as usual. It happens to a lot of us. It's a pretty common thing. And what's interesting, I think, is that it's not always about, how many drinks you had in total. So often it really boils down to how you were drinking them. Think about it, the speed, right? How often you're having a drink during the week and just how your body is trying its best to keep up with everything. So today I want to walk you through something I call the 1-2-3 rule. It's a really simple framework, kind of a straightforward strategy for pacing your drinks. The whole idea is to help you hang on to your energy, your focus, and this is the big one, feel noticeably better the next day. Look, this isn't about making some huge drastic change or quitting altogether. It's more about being, a bit smarter when we choose to enjoy a drink. Okay, let's start with the first part, the 1. This means aiming for around 1 standard drink per hour, give or take. Now, your liver. It's an amazing organ, right? Constantly working. And when it comes to alcohol, it can generally process about 1 drink in, say, 60 minutes. So let's unpack that. What happens if you have like 2 or 3 drinks in that first hour? Well, basically, the alcohol starts building up in your blood faster than your liver can clear it. And that's when you start feeling the effects more intensely, maybe a bit too quickly. Coordination can slip, you might say, or do things you kind of regret later. We've all been there. But here's the upside of sticking to that 1 hour guideline. It's pretty significant. It helps keep your blood alcohol level more stable. You avoid that big spike and then the crash. It really cuts down the chance of getting, too drunk too fast, which usually isn't the goal. And because your liver isn't completely overwhelmed, it has a fighting chance to keep up. This means you're seriously lowering your risk of waking up with that nasty hangover. Plus, this is something that people don't always connect. Pacing yourself often leads to remembering the night more clearly. Less of that, where did I do, anxiety the next day. All right, moving on, part 2 of the rule. This is about trying to keep your drinking days to no more than 2 per week. Now, I know for some people this might sound like a big adjustment, but here's the thing. Even if you're only having small amounts, drinking frequently, several days in a row, that could still be pretty taxing on your whole system. Think about it. Drinking on consecutive days, even if it's just 1 glass of wine each night. Your brain, your liver, even your sleep patterns don't really get a proper chance to fully recover, to reset. And over time, that could start to impact your mood, your focus, maybe even weaken your immune system. So what's the benefit of limiting it to, say, 2 days a week? Well, first off, it gives your liver that crucial downtime it needs to repair and recover, essential stuff. It also helps your natural sleep cycle get back on track, which, as we know, affects everything: energy, mood, concentration. And interestingly, lots of people who make this shift, they report feeling more consistent energy, their moods feel more stable, and they actually notice fewer cravings for alcohol, even if their total weekly drinks might be similar to someone drinking smaller amounts more often. It really seems like giving your body those complete rest days makes a huge difference. Okay, now for the final piece, the 3 in the 1-2-3 rule. This is about aiming for no more than 3 drinks in any single session, on any one occasion. Why 3? Well, it often seems to be a kind of tipping point for a lot of people. Even if you don't feel, super intoxicated after 3 drinks, going beyond that number significantly increases the chances of those negative consequences kicking in. We're talking about that brain fog that lingers the next day, that feeling of just not being sharp, or that really poor quality sleep. Even if you're in bed for 8 hours, you wake up feeling unrested. And back to those decisions you might look back on and kind of cringe. But sticking to 3 or fewer, there are real positives there. For one, it generally keeps your consumption below what's often defined as binge drinking. That's important for long-term health. It definitely supports deeper, more restorative sleep. We keep coming back to sleep going, it's vital. And honestly, it just makes it easier to stop before things escalate. You stay more in control. The payoff the next day is usually feeling much clearer, calmer, less fatigue, less of that low level anxiety. So let's just zoom out for a second. How does this whole 1-2-3 approach actually support your body and brain? Think about the liver again. We talked about its processing limit. By spacing drinks out, but one per hour, and limiting the total per session and frequency of the 2 days, you're basically giving your liver the breaks it needs. Time to rest, repair for that long-term strain. Then, your brain. Alcohol messes with brain chemistry, right? Neurotransmitters that control mood, motivation, memory. Drinking less often and less per sitting helps keep those chemicals more balanced. That translates to feeling sharper mentally, more emotionally stable, more motivated day to day. It helps avoid those big swings in things like GABA and glutamate that alcohol can cause. And sleep. We have to talk about sleep again. Alcohol might make you feel sleepy initially, sure, but it disrupts your sleep cycle later on, especially REM sleep, which is crucial for processing emotions and consolidating memories. So you might sleep long, but you don't sleep well. Following the 1-2-3 rule gives your brain a much better shot at getting that truly restorative sleep it needs. And finally, energy and mood. That drained, anxious, scattered feeling after drinking too much or too often. That comes from the strain alcohol puts on your whole system, your nervous system included. The 1-2-3 approach lets those systems recover properly. Maybe to better energy, better mood. Makes sense, right? Now, there's one specific nutrient I want to touch on quickly related to alcohol, vitamin B1, thiamine. Alcohol use can actually deplete some key nutrients, and B1 is a really important one. Why? Because your body needs B1 to convert food into energy. Crucial for that. And it's also vital for keeping your thinking sharp and clear. What's interesting is that even just moderate drinking can lower your B1 levels. This might explain some of that next day fog, that low energy, that feeling of just recovering slowly, even after just a few drinks sometimes. So some people find focusing on B1-rich foods, or maybe even a B1 supplement, can actually help support their recovery, especially when they combine it with being mindful, maybe using a framework like this 1-2-3 rule. So yeah, that's the 1-2-3 rule in a nutshell. 1 drink per hour, no more than 2 drinking days a week, no more than 3 drinks per occasion. It's simple, but it can be really powerful for drinking more mindfully, feeling better. And I like that it works with your body's natural processes, respecting its limits instead of just pushing past them. And hey, it's flexible. It's not about perfection. Even just keeping these guidelines in mind, trying to lean into them, you'll likely feel a difference. It definitely makes you think, doesn't it? How could applying this, even just parts of it, change how you feel, not just the morning after, but overall? Something to consider next time you're in a social drinking situation. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor, leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.